Sinners emerges as a true cinematic masterpiece, skillfully weaving together a rich tapestry of elements that elevate it far beyond a typical horror film. Director Ryan Coogler masterfully integrates the soulful essence of blues music, deep cultural themes, and historical context of the Jim Crow South with the terrifying supernatural horror of vampirism. This ambitious blend is further enhanced by subtle yet profound symbolic references embedded throughout the narrative, creating a phenomenal work of art that is both intellectually stimulating and viscerally impactful. The film doesn't just tell a story, it immerses the audience in a uniquely American Gothic experience, where every detail, from the music to the historical backdrop, resonates with deeper meaning. Adding to its brilliance, Sinners boasts an exceptional ensemble cast whose performances are nothing short of captivating. Led by Michael B. Jordan in compelling dual roles, alongside talents like Jack O'Connell, Miles Caton, and Delroy Lindo, each actor brings incredible depth and authenticity to their characters. Their powerful portrayals allow the audience to truly connect with the story, feeling every ounce of tension, hope, and despair as the narrative unfolds. The star-studded roster not only delivers powerful individual performances, but also creates a compelling dynamic that makes the human struggle against supernatural evil feel intensely real and emotionally resonant. In this video, we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into Ryan Coogler's electrifying new film, uncovering all the fascinating fun facts, intricate cultural symbolism, and powerful historical references that might have flown under the radar during your first watch. So, grab your garlic, get comfortable, and let's peel back the layers of this cinematic masterpiece. But before we begin, a quick warning of heavy spoilers is on the table, so be prepared for what's coming. Director Ryan Coogler explained that he deliberately crafted his film Sinners as a standalone story, prioritizing originality and a complete narrative over the possibility of a sequel. Having spent significant time on franchise projects like Black Panther and Creed, Coogler expressed a desire to create something fresh and personal. He envisioned Sinners as a full meal for audiences, with a clear beginning, middle, and end, ensuring that the story felt entirely concluded without leaving loose threads that might suggest a follow-up. The introduction of the vampire Remick fleeing from Choctaw hunters carries deep historical and thematic weight. This scene is particularly significant because the film is set in the Choctaw homeland, and there's a profound, long-standing alliance between the Choctaw people, and Native Americans more broadly, and the Irish. This connection dates back to the Irish potato famine in the 1840s, just 16 years after the forced displacement of the Choctaw and other Native American tribes on the devastating Trail of Tears. Recognizing the pain of hunger and tragedy, Choctaw and Cherokee survivors, despite their own immense suffering, generously donated hundreds of dollars to aid Irish famine relief efforts. This extraordinary act of kindness has been reciprocated and commemorated in modern times, notably with Ireland erecting the Kindred Spirit sculpture in 2017 to honor this friendship, and a companion sculpture called Eternal Heart installed on Choctaw land in 2024. More recently, during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, Ireland sent a $2 million donation to the hard-hit Navajo and Hopi nations, explicitly acknowledging the Choctaws' historical generosity. Therefore, the Choctaws' pursuit of Remick, despite their historical alliance with the Irish, becomes a symbolic gesture, as they recognize that he doesn't embody the Irish spirit of resistance, but rather something more sinister. Director Ryan Coogler explicitly said that he structured the film's rhythm and emotional arc to mirror Metallica's song One, describing how the song's slow, haunting intro builds into chaos, just like the film's tonal journey. Additionally, Lars Ulrich, who is the drummer and one of the founding members of Metallica, is credited as one of the drummers in the film's scoring orchestra. It's a deliberate nod to the film's musical DNA. Coogler and composer Ludwig Göransson worked closely to blend Delta blues, Irish folk, and heavy metal influences into a soundscape that feels both era-authentic and emotionally explosive. Jack O'Connell, a self-professed fan of Irish folk music, was so enthusiastic about the prospect of singing in the film that he signed on after only a single read-through of the script. The opportunity to perform traditional Irish folk songs, a genre he deeply admires, was a significant draw for him, fulfilling a long-held dream. His character's use of Irish music, including a climactic performance of Rocky Road to Dublin with Irish step dancing, played a crucial role in luring victims, making the musical element not just a personal interest for O'Connell, but also an integral part of the character and narrative. Additionally, director Ryan Coogler revealed that Remick in his film drew partial inspiration from the character of Death in the animated movie Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Coogler was particularly struck by Death's distinctive red eyes and menacing demeanor in the DreamWorks film. This influence helped Coogler craft Remick as a villain who, despite his supernatural nature, possesses a calm and confident presence while delivering otherworldly terror, creating a character that is both visually striking and subtly chilling, much like the iconic animated wolf that inspired him. For his film debut, Miles Caton deeply impressed director Ryan Coogler from his initial audition tape, which Coogler described as captivatingly raw due to Caton's talent. Coogler was particularly struck by Caton's once-in-a-lifetime voice. To prepare for the role, Caton undertook an intensive 2-month period of learning to play the resonator blues guitar, which was a new skill for him. This involved regularly taking the Amtrak train between New York and Philadelphia to receive lessons from guitarist Randy Boland. During his chemistry read with Michael B. Jordan and Coogler, composer Ludwig Göransson further immersed Caton in the film's musical world by playing him Son House's Death Letter Blues, helping Caton to grasp the essence of the blues for his character. Filmmaker and cultural consultant Dolly Lee played a pivotal role in bringing the authentic history of Chinese Delta ancestors to Coogler's film. Coogler's inspiration stemmed from a deeply personal discovery, as his father-in-law learned that he had Chinese Delta ancestors, prompting Coogler to explore this overlooked community. He connected with Lee after seeing her documentary for the TV series Untold America, about the generations of Chinese Americans who have lived in the Mississippi Delta for over a century. This led Coogler to include the characters Grace and Bo, who were based on grocery store owners of the Jim Crow era in Clarksdale, Mississippi. This was a period when Chinese grocery stores were highly prevalent in the Delta. Lee provided meticulous details, such as Grace and Bo owning 2 stores across the street from each other, further enriching the film's authenticity. Lee also emphasized the significance of Coogler's deliberate choice to include these characters, highlighting that while he could have easily made the store owners white or black without question from anyone, his insistence on featuring the Delta Chinese community demonstrates a powerful commitment to historical accuracy and cultural representation. Additionally, actor Yao, whose real name is Thomas Pong, and portrays the character Bo Chow in the film, made a subtle yet meaningful contribution to his role by suggesting that Bo, for his Chinese heritage, could wear a gold Taoist amulet for good luck. Coogler incorporated this detail into the film, and while the necklace is only partially visible on screen, its presence adds an authentic layer to Bo's character, subtly highlighting his cultural background and personal beliefs within the narrative. In interviews with Sci-Fi Now and others, Coogler confirmed that 2 of his biggest cinematic influences were From Dusk Till Dawn and The Faculty, both directed by Robert Rodriguez. He noted that while From Dusk Till Dawn is the obvious comparison, Sinners is actually quite close to The Faculty, especially in how it blends paranoia, group dynamics, and hidden threats. But Coogler also emphasized that his deepest influences weren't even from film. He cited Stephen King's Salem's Lot as a major inspiration for the film's small-town dread and creeping supernatural menace. And perhaps most intriguingly, he called The Twilight Zone his favorite thing ever made, specifically the episode The Last Rites of Jeff Myrtlebank, which centers on a man who mysteriously returns to life at his own funeral, much to the shock of his loved ones and pastor, and the townspeople declare it a miracle. That is, until rumors begin to swirl regarding minor yet noticeable shifts in Jeff's behavior following his unexpected resurrection. Filming the twin characters, Smoke and Stack presented a significant challenge for Michael B. Jordan and the entire production crew. Jordan openly discussed the complexities of playing dual roles, which often involved acting opposite a body double or even nothing at all, demanding immense precision from him and the cast. New technologies were employed, including halo cameras, facial recognition, and a multi-camera rig, leaving little room for error. Actors had to be extremely careful not to overlap lines or positions with the other twin, though they eventually found a rhythm that made the process smoother, resulting in a payoff that justified all the challenges. To achieve the seamless twin effects, Rala, James Alexander, and the VFX team devised a method for entire head replacements. This led to the development of the Halo cameras, a lightweight circular rig with 10 cameras mounted on a shoulder harness. This rig allowed for a 360-degree capture of Jordan's head performance immediately after each take, which was crucial for Coogler's fast-paced, sports-inspired directing style. The captured data was then sent to Rising Sun Pictures, an Australian VFX studio, which meticulously recreated Jordan's performance to place on the body double's head. The paramount goal was to preserve Jordan's actual acting, as Rala emphasized, saying, "It's not the body double driving Michael's face. This is Michael." Alexander reiterated that they wanted Jordan's authentic performance as much as possible, using the Halo rig to quickly capture lighting references and ensure consistency across scenes, even as the rest of the production was shifting around them. This dedication ensured that every digital face replacement maintained the integrity of Jordan's original acting. The body double for Michael B. Jordan and for the twin scenes was Percy Bell. He served as the physical stand-in for Jordan's twin characters, Smoke and Stack, during scenes requiring both to appear on screen simultaneously. Bell's work was crucial in creating the illusion of two distinct individuals interacting, often without relying on CGI. One of the most intricate visual effect sequences, and arguably the most crucial, involved the early scene where Smoke and Stack repeatedly pass a cigarette and lighter between them in an elaborate ritual. VFX supervisor Michael Rala insisted on shooting this for real, despite the immense coordination and logistics required across different departments. This involved shooting Jordan's performance twice, leading to 18 takes and considerable pressure from producers. The scene became even more demanding than initially conceived. What began as a simple pass evolved into multiple handoffs of the cigarette. This meant Jordan not only had to act against himself, but also precisely match his hand positions for each pass, all while managing a period-correct lighter, rolling the cigarette, lighting it, taking a drag, and hitting his marks multiple times. The intense conditions, with Jordan in a heavy wool suit during the heat of the day, further complicated the painstaking process. During Sammy's transcendent performance at the juke joint, the film visually represents how his music pierces time and ancestry, not just for himself but for everyone present. Among the spirits conjured are not only African and Afro-diasporic figures but also a dancer in traditional Chinese opera attire near the chows, symbolizing their ancestral lineage. Actor Yao suggested incorporating a Peking opera dancer, embodying Sun Wukong, also known as the Monkey King. Sun Wukong is a legendary mythological figure from classic Chinese literature, particularly known from the novel Journey to the West, celebrated for his immense strength, magical abilities, and mischievous yet heroic nature. Furthermore, in that same sequence, Sammy's gift taps into the collective memory and heritage of the rest of the audience, and ties directly into Remek's motivation, which makes him see Sammy's power as a means to resurrect the long-lost spirits of his own people, making the conflict deeply personal and culturally resonant. The film cleverly incorporates classic horror tropes while adding its own unique twists. The scene where the survivors eat garlic cloves to identify a potential vampire is a clear homage to the tense hot wire blood test from John Carpenter's The Thing, where characters test each other for alien infection. Furthermore, a parallel can be drawn between the arrival of the infected husky at the American base in The Thing, with frantic Norwegians attempting to warn them that it's not a dog, and the arrival of Remek in Sinners. In Coogler's film, Choctaw hunters pursue the vampire Remek to Bert and Joan's house, attempting to warn the couple of his monstrous nature. However, much like the Americans initially dismissing the Norwegians, Joan refuses to listen, threatening the Choctaw with a gun. The crucial difference lies in the outcome. Unlike the ill-fated Norwegians who are tragically killed, the Choctaw, recognizing their efforts are futile, wisely withdraw, ensuring their own survival. A widely discussed aspect among fans and critics alike is the fact that Smoke wears a blue scally cap, while Stack sports a red fedora, as these choices seem far from arbitrary. The hats serve as subtle visual cues that reflect both the twins' personalities and their possible affiliations. The blue scally cap nods to Smoke's Irish mob ties, aligning with his more reserved, calculating demeanor. Meanwhile, the red fedora hints at Stack's connection to the Italian mob, matching his flashier, more impulsive nature. It's a clever bit of costuming that deepens the storytelling without needing explicit exposition. And that concludes this deep dive into some of the most fascinating facts about Ryan Coogler's incredible film, Sinners. From its genre-bending brilliance and Michael B. Jordan's dual performance to its rich historical context and stunning visuals, it's clear this isn't just a movie, it's an experience. So if you enjoyed learning about this amazing work of art, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fun facts and cinematic explorations. And be sure to share this video with your friends so they can discover the magic of Sinners too. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next video.